On Remembrance Sunday, each Premier League game paused ahead of kick-off to pay their respects. Evening highlights from 5 Premier League games to bring you, plus all of yesterday's goals with Shearer and Ian Wright. Let's start at Stamford Bridge.
It's the start of the great Chelsea reset.
It's Chelsea's worst start to a top-flight season after 6 matches since 1978.
It's all a matter of time. It's going to be a process that is going to be tough, but I think it's about to keep working, doing positive.
Back on familiar territory, Mauricio Pochettino. In by the skin of the teeth. Jackson into the net. 3-1. Spurs 1, Chelsea 4.
He's one of the best coaches in the world, and always it's a challenge to play against him and the team that he's coaching.
Manchester City records 6 Premier League wins in a row.
Really, it has changed, but the mentality and the consistency have been there.
And another derby goes the blue way.
I said to the players, celebrate it, because if we stop to do what we have to do, and maybe the opponents are better than us, we will not be there.
Commentary comes from Steve Wilson.
Mauricio Pochettino has pitted his wits against Pep Guardiola on 22 occasions, 6 more than against any other manager. The first was nearly 15 years ago. He has 4 wins, 1 with Espanyol, 2 with Tottenham, and 1 most recently with Paris Saint-Germain. But Chelsea have won only 3 of 19 Premier League home games played so far in 2023. They have 1 change to the 11, which started the chaotic victory at Spurs. That is Cucurella for Colwill, who has a shoulder injury. City are missing John Stones and Nathan Ake, but Manuel Akanji and Ruben Dias return. Foden for Kovacic is their other change. Phil Foden has scored in each of City's last 3 games. Just feel that Manchester City have settled into a rhythm now. Alvarez, well blocked by Cucurella, Manchester City, but it's finished all square. Chelsea 4, Manchester City 4.
Well, he needs to lie down. We couldn't have asked for any more from that, could we, really?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a fantastic game. We know that Chelsea do well against the top 6 sides. You know, City are going to come and press high. Chelsea are going to press high, try and win the ball, which I thought they'd done very well today. And then you know that if you make mistakes, City will punish you. And what we saw with Chelsea today, who have been creating chances but not taking them, is that they did take some of their chances. But in the main, it's a brilliant end-to-end game. Brilliant end-to-end game.
You're going to look at someone who very quickly is becoming one of the first names on their team sheet, isn't he?
Well, there was some very, very impressive Chelsea performances. It was a good deal for both parties, both for City and for him, because when you look at who he was up against, there's no way he would have been a regular at Man City. So,
I mean, you mentioned at the top there that they have improved against the other so-called Big 6. I know, Alan, it'll be a Big 7 soon. Don't worry, we'll do it. Right.
I haven't seen a word.
No, I know, but I could just see your eyes next to me.
It was 2 teams just going
They
for
were
each
going
other,
for it,
wasn't
man. It was brilliant.
It meant a great game.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I mean, you can see City's next 3 Premier League fixtures. I mean, it all depends who's fit for Tottenham, I suppose, with this question. But Liverpool, Tottenham and Villa, given the way they are playing this season, they might go at City as well.
Well, I think we know they will.
Right. West Ham haven't won any of their last 4 games in the Premier League, and they started the weekend just a point ahead of today's opponents. Nottingham Forest, Robyn Cowen was at this one.
European success continues to come at a price for West Ham. They've dropped points in each of their previous 3 Premier League fixtures after a midweek game, something Nottingham Forest will be all too aware of. It's 3 changes from last weekend's defeat at Brentford. Captain Kurt Zouma is fit to start after missing the previous 3 matches with injury. Edson Alvarez and Lucas Paqueta returned from suspension. Forest are unchanged from the win over Villa. Taiwo Awoniyi scored the winner at home to West Ham United last season, but he's currently enduring a drought in front of goal, stretching back to August. It's 10 points from the opening 4 Premier League games for West Ham, just 5 in their last 7. Big win for West Ham at the London Stadium, full time. West Ham United 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
So Steve Cooper says a lack of desire and not marking your man. OK, and there is a tendency when we do this show, when teams concede from set pieces, to hammer the team conceding. But sometimes you've just got to hold your hands up, haven't you, and go, the delivery is just too good. Well, haven't you?
James Ward-Prowse, he's world-class. He is the best around and has been for a long time.
Yeah, and in fact, since 2021, there you go, he's way clear of anybody else in the number of assists.
Look at West Ham.
Although it does highlight, if you play for West Ham or Liverpool, actually, on that, you're going to have a good chance of getting on the end of dead balls. Look, I mean, you played with David Beckham. I know there's always the comparison with Ward-Prowse and Beckham, but what I'm more interested in is when you're playing with someone like that, who is as accurate as that and as consistent as that, what difference that makes to your runs, to what you know to do. It makes it easier for your run because you can... Right, Aston Villa have won each of their last 12 Premier League home games. Today they welcome Fulham and Martin Fisher.
Surely Villa Park regulars are the happiest home fans in the land at the moment. Victories, goals aplenty, progress domestically and in Europe again, just like those legends of the 80s. 8 of their starting 11 have started every Premier League game this season. Today, Youri Tielemans gets his first in claret and blue, preferred to Nicola Zaniolo. Fulham, who have lost their last 4 visits here, bring in Raul Jimenez for the injured Rodrigo Muniz. Harry Wilson makes way for Bobby de Cordova-Reid. A real buzz of excitement around this place. Villa have scored 20 goals in their last 5 league games here, never less than 3. 13 Premier League wins here in a row. What a run.
Well, as John McGinn said, 13 home Premier League wins in a row. And the other thing, Alan, is they're not squeaking past teams at the moment.
No, that's a rare 6 successive home league game that they've scored 3 or more goals.
Brentford have hit form recently, winning their last 3 Premier League matches. They haven't won 4 top-flight matches in a row since 1939. Today they were at Liverpool and Mark Scott was there.
It's a pretty common thing to find it tough going away at Anfield. This season, it's 8 wins by at least 2 goals in each of them for the Reds here, with Liverpool beaten just once in their last 47 at home in the league. We knew McAllister was suspended and Gravenberch struggling with a knee problem, but Jurgen Klopp's also without Konate and Gomez today because of injury as well. Tsimikas and Matip come in for them, while Wataru Endo gets only his 2nd league start, with Cody Gakpo, the other, drafted into midfield. As expected, Thomas Frank switches to a back 5, with Ben Mee and Mats Roerslev coming into the Bees' defence. Janelt moves into midfield, with Mope and Onyeka making way. Brentford have only drawn a blank once in the league this season. You have to go back to April for the last time Liverpool failed to register. And Liverpool have another Anfield victory to celebrate.
Just a quick one on Brentford. I mean, Thomas Frank highlighting the inconsistencies of VAR, which we won't go back over again, but they caused Liverpool problems today. They were a bit unlucky to be on the end of a 3-0 score.
They didn't have it all their own way, Liverpool.
And then you see his link-up play with Salah, like Al rightly pointed out there. He's looking really good.
Right, next to Brighton against Sheffield United. Commentary comes from Simon Brotherton.
Brighton's recent record against Sheffield United is a poor one, winning only one of the last 12 league meetings. And today they make 6 changes from last week's draw at Everton, with Lewis Dunk, James Milner, Pervis Estupiñán and Evan Ferguson all picking up injuries in Thursday's trip to Ajax. Jason Steele returns in goal, Adam Webster and Igor come in at the back, Mahmoud Daoud plays in midfield, Facundo Buonanotte out wide, and there's a first Premier League start for Ansu Fati. Kaoru Mitoma gets a breather on the bench. No such selection headaches for Paul Heckingbottom as Sheffield United look to build on their first win of the season last week against Wolves. Ryan Brewster went off at half-time in that game with a knee problem, and James McAtee takes his place today. Oliver Norwood scored last week's late penalty winner and is a former Brighton player. Brighton have never gone 6 league matches in a row without a win since Roberto De Zerbi took over. Brighton and Hove Albion are held to a draw. Brighton 1, Sheffield United 1.
Only 8. Thought it might be slightly higher. Anyhow, let's deal with the positive, shall we? Which we've probably seen goal of the month.
Beautiful goal.
Right, the rest of the weekend's Premier League goals are on the way, though. First, this is what's coming up across the BBC this week. We've got the FA Cup first-round replay between Cray Valley Paper Mills and Charlton on Wednesday. Monday night, Club on 5 Live in the iPlayer tomorrow. Women's football show follows us on BBC One. And Match of the Day 2 is on the iPlayer all week. All of Saturday's goals for you now will start at Molineux. Here's the table. Manchester City are a point clear. Liverpool's win sees them make up ground on the leaders, and the top 2 meet at the Etihad straight after the international break. Aston Villa just a point off the top 4. West Ham are 9th. And at the bottom, Sheffield United are now off the foot of the table for the first time since September, although they are still 4 points from safety. Just time for Too Good, Too Bad. And we've got the good and the bad, first of all in one move at Villa. The good from John McGinn. And the bad from Ollie Watkins. But Ian, you've got to be there to miss them.
Yes, we do, yeah. sorry, Ollie, bro. Sorry, man. You got to hide your phone.
To Anfield next, it would be fair to say that Joel Matip doesn't think that this is a foul or a booking. We've put this clip in particularly for Roberto De Zerbi. Ted Mengi, former United Academy player, forgot that he wasn't still at Manchester United and he needed to come out of the home dressing room and go over to the away dressing room. And it would be fair to say that Big Sam wasn't massively entertained by the football at Old Trafford yesterday. Right, thanks to Alan and Ian. After Wolves' stoppage time turnaround yesterday, we thought we'd leave you with some other last-minute comebacks. Good night.
They're going to do it now. It'll be a late show. Oh, it's good play and a good hit from Sarabia. Fabulous finish. And Lamina, 2 goals in stoppage time have turned the match on its head. Ruth, scored. Ruth, yes, unbelievable. Dini, what a late turnaround at Vicarage Road. And in came Pina! Yelovitz! 2 goals in a minute! Surely not, it's Steven Bergwijn! Absolute scenes! Up goes Dzeko! Balotelli! He's got it through, it's Sergio Aguero!